Howdy, howdy, stoners. I may actually have things all pulled together today. We'll see. I hope so, because I do have a very good pairing today. I've been very excited about this. Just still trying to get all the little kinks worked out. But as far as this pairing goes, I don't think you're going to find two names that are potentially any bigger. Maybe, but you know. All right, I got myself showing here so I can see. What am I bringing you today? Well, I am bringing you a Fuente Fuente Opus X Super Bellicose. And I'm going to pair that with E.H. Taylor Small Batch Bourbon, bottled in bond. I won't even go into all the different things that make bottled in bond. There's just a bunch of regulations that have to be adhered to in order to call it bottled in bond. So, you know, did have one thing here I didn't get quite right, and that is I didn't get my lighter out of my pocket. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm gonna try to. It's not been a really great day. We're on our fourth week with the washing machine. It's kind of it hadn't worked at all. The repairman's been here 3 times already, and then he broke something today. So while it can be used for small loads, it's going to be another week while they get this other part in. Jeez. So, but hey, at least we're not having to spend $50 a week sending the wash out. So we can at least keep going for another few days. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about E.H. Taylor Small Batch. Go ahead and glass a little up for you here. Let's take a look at it there in the glass. I know I'm not doing a nose and glass again. It's just not been that kind of week. So I can already smell it wafting. This is a straight bourbon. Sazerac Company. The distillery is Buffalo Trace, just like a lot of other of the really big names out there. Buffalo Trace, E.H. Taylor, Weller, Blanton's, all come from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. And then watching myself cut off. I know you think, well, why in the world do you want to watch yourself? Well, because that way I can make sure things are working right. So anyway, back to where we were. This is an ongoing release. It's 100 proof, 50% alcohol by volume. It's a non-age statement. Now, as with most things with Buffalo Trace, they keep the mash bill very close to the vest. So it's undisclosed, but it is believed to be mash bill number 1. And it is believed to have 10% or maybe a little less rye in it. E.H. Taylor does tend to be a little spicier, which is why I think it's going to go really good with this this cigar. But on the nose, even though it's a little light because I don't have the nosing glass, I'm a professional. Now on the nose, I get like butterscotch, caramel, maybe a little bit of like baking bread, some light notes of maybe like a licorice. As you can tell, it's just a really beautiful, beautiful copper color. Does have some great legs on it. I managed to swirl it without spilling it. I do also pick up some raisins kind of in the background. There's really not a lot of ethanol burn. It could be because of the open top of the glass as opposed to the Glencairn. But anyway, we're going to go ahead on the palate. Kind of the first thing that comes through is vanilla. sorry, I'm trying to get some basketball going here, is vanilla with a really kind of a complex, sorry, I don't want to get any copyright infringements. Even though you got a lot of vanilla, and a blend of raisins, charred oak, and a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of spiciness in there, which kind of indicates a little bit of rye. I do pick up some rye grain. So that tells me that, yeah, it's got to have at least a sprinkling in there. But E.H. Taylor is a really great spirit when you get your hands on it. I've got another bottle that is their straight rye. I haven't even popped the seal on it yet. I'm probably going to be bringing it out here pretty soon. I really kind of thought about it for this pairing, but I decided to go ahead and go with the one that I already had open. So the finish, I get a little more vanilla. I do get some nice notes of tobacco, which may bode very well for a pairing. Then there's a little bit of kind of the creamy leather, and kind of finished off with some pepper. Overall, it is to be 100 proof. It's a easy to drink bourbon. It does offer some nice rich flavors, and it is enjoyable, but not overly complex. It's not going to just send your taste buds into overdrive, right? And I think it's just well balanced for a small batch, and it's really hard to find a fault in it. I mean, it's really great. So on to the stick. It's taken me, I've been wanting one of these for literally years. And my brand new local cigar shop, I think I've mentioned it the last couple of times. It's a local chain, but they've opened one that's closer than the other one that I was going to. Not by much, just a little bit, but it's brand new built out space. And they announced that they had some of these on their Facebook page the other day. So I went down and got some. I got one. So we're really looking forward to this. Now, this is the Fuente Fuente Opus X Super Bellicose from Arturo Fuente Cigars. It is curated from leaves at the Chateau de la Fuente, or however they say that, down in the Dominican Republic. This is a Dominican Puro. It is a filler, binder, and wrapper, all from the Dominican Republic. You can maybe kind of see there's some darker leaves here at the top, some lighter leaves here at the bottom. That's from the rolling. So you've got a blend of leaves in here, different ones, different ages, however they do that, they do their magic. This is a Super Bellicose at 5.5 by 52 on the ring gauge. On the nose, I'm trying to keep the wind from blowing around. I get a little bit of fresh earth, or maybe kind of a barnyard, some wet cedar, and then a hint of raisins. Not overly complex nose, but very nice. Now visually, as you can tell, it's got a really nice dark tan to light brown color. It has, you might be able to see right here, the vein. That is that, and right about my middle finger there, that's really the only two prominent veins it has in it. There are some other smaller veins branching off from there, but very minimal veining. Invisible seams. I can't even tell you tight and minimally visible. They're invisible, so they obviously must be tight. It is just impeccable construction and a very large, beautiful triple cap. So now, and I do love the banding on the Opus X. let you know that you have moved into the big leagues. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it, give it a cold draw. I'm using my V cutter. I prefer the V cut. It's got a very nice draw to it. I pinched my finger. It's not overly easy, but it's also not hard. So she said. I get some notes of raisin, kind of a creamy leather. And maybe just a hint of floral. It's not really what I was expecting with this stick. Yeah, that's really surprising. Like I said, it's not saying that in a bad way, but you know. So we're going to go ahead and toast it up. I do maybe see some hints of tooth. That'll be kind of interesting. See if we get some little pockets of oil pop open as the stick gets warmed up. Always like that. Make sure I give it a good even toasting. Now you saw me retrohale through my nose. Something that I don't know that I've ever really picked up on a cigar before is there's a little bit of salinity in the retro. Yeah, I mean, you just got that burst of like ocean salt, I guess, which in the Dominican Republic, it is an island. So, you know. I get some really nice leather, almost like a saddle leather, that really rich leather. Some bittersweet chocolate. There's a lot of pepper. It's kind of a mix of black and red, but it's not too much one way or the other. It's kind of right down the middle. All right, we're going to try them together now. Those do seem to meld together pretty well. Both of them are fairly simple on the palate. There's not a lot of complex flavors, but you've got that kind of creamy, rich leather and the bittersweet chocolate, which just adds a slight touch of sweetness to it, not much. And then you're kind of combining that, sorry, I've got an itch, with the vanilla and the tobacco and the leather and pepper in the spirit. So they all do kind of go together pretty well. Yeah, I'm impressed. At this point, I'm going to touch this up because it was burning very wavy there. I just want to make sure that it wasn't me. So, yeah, I mean, they're going really good together. It's not like the angels aren't singing. yet, but we'll see. So copious amounts of smoke if you can't tell. Yeah, see what I'm talking about here? And when you roll around, see how, yeah. Actually, I kind of heard that about this stick, that it was a really wavy burn, that it wasn't all that straight. So I'll keep watching on it, watching a little of the March Madness here, as you got some play-in games. No, I'm sorry, this is NIT. Hey, NIT's already kicked off. Yeah, that's right. Play-in games are, I guess, Friday. And if you haven't realized it, it is windy again here in Texas. It has been windy for about the last 10 days. And I mean, it blow the front door open windy. I don't know. We have not had another sandstorm or dust storm blow out of West Texas this far east. But I was kind of surprised. Man, that little dude, he built like a fire plug. You know, look like he's about 5'5", but he's about 5 feet wide. 5'5" and 5 wide. That's what I call it. I will say this is a very easy smoking cigar. It's not going to blow you away with, complex flavors and a lot of different things. But it's a really good smoke. It is. We'll burn it down to the halfway mark, and I'll let you know how it's going then. So I kind of gotten away from doing the full all the way to burn it down to the band, keeping people on, or trying to do the thing where I have to cut and splice pieces together, because it'll take from foot to band. It'll take you around 50 or 55 minutes. Some of them even more than an hour. And people just ain't going to hang on that long. It's not that enthralling, especially if you're like me. I don't have a whole lot else to say. I just have to come up with stuff to say. But I do think it's imperative to get to at least the halfway mark so people know what they're getting. This stick was $29. Yeah, you want to Opus, you're going to open the wallet. As you call it, open. The Fuente Fuente open. Open the wallet. And if it hadn't been for this being such a mystical cigar, I wouldn't have spent $29. It's like I tried Davidoff once, and that was, again, as is like a $25 stick. It's good. I didn't really care about buying another one. Because, let's just take this one, all right? This is the Fuente Fuente. This is their special. This is they're very expensive and they're very rare, hard to get a hold of. But you can buy a Arturo Fuente cigar in any smoke shop, made by the same people. I guess if I could light my cigars with $100 bills, yeah, I'll buy a box. But I'm a working man. I haven't been on vacation this week. That's why y'all seeing me so much. I can say that it has gotten better. I'm going to have a picture with this. That salinity, that salt in the nose, that is really unique. I have never had one that I've gotten that, really even on the palate. I don't think I've ever had a cigar that I've said there's a little bit of saltiness to it. That's what she said. But I can tell you, it is a good cigar. It is. It's all up to you whether you want to indulge yourself that much. It would be, hey, if you're out on a date and you can go into a cigar place and they've got one and you're like, I'd really like to have one of those. Go ahead. I did notice that I think one year I had looked at Cigar of the Year, and I think this was whatever, I can't remember the year now, but it was like number 13 on the list. So you're in the, you're in the top 20, early top 15. And a lot of those, you'll end up with cigars that, at least here in the States, you're not ever going to get them because they ain't ever going to lift the embargo on Cuba, because a lot of them are Cuban cigars that you can only get if you're out of the country. I first started smoking Cuban cigars when I was over in the Middle East. At least I think they were. They said they were. Comes in a little tube, the little tubo, and say it was from Havana. Yeah, it is straightening itself up really nice. Can't believe I'm actually smoking one of these. It's like when you go on a trip, you've rented a mid-sized sedan, and they're like, well, we can upgrade you for free into the like the Camaro drop top. Yeah, all right. You're driving around with the top down going, I never thought I'd be able to do this. I don't think I've ever ridden in a convertible. Unless you consider a Jeep a convertible. That was another one of those things that it sounds good. I always wanted a Jeep as a teenager. A couple of my really good friends had Jeeps, and I always wanted to go cruising around town with them because you'd have the top off in the summertime. Back then, Jeeps were 8-cylinders. They still don't get good gas mileage, but they got terrible gas mileage. So they never wanted to drive, But so I got ready to get rid of my my Dodge Ram, which I really liked. I did. It started having a problem with the, now this is getting way off topic, but it started having problems with the air release for the fuel tank. When you put the nozzle in and you start filling up, the Dodge had this little tube that came and ran on the upside of the filler tube, and that would let the air escape as you were putting gas in. Well, it had gotten clogged, and I was not able to put more than 25 to 30 cents in it at a time before the little thing clicked off. Or if you were holding it, it clicked and you had to reset it and hold it again. It would take me 15, 20 minutes to fill up my truck. And like with anything like that, they're like, well, it's going to cost $1,000 because we have to drop the fuel tank on it. I'm like, I'll trade it in. So, but I did love that truck. Had a 5.7 liter Hemi in it, and it didn't get great gas mileage in the city. Got like 16, 17, but I could get 21 on it out on the interstate and do 70 miles an hour. But anyway, so when I got ready to trade it in, I'm like, I've always wanted a Jeep. I'll get one of those new Jeep trucks. I liked it, but it's the only mid-size truck available right now. And so it's smaller than a full size. And it just didn't have the room that I really wanted. It was a 4-wheel drive, which I loved. It got terrible gas mileage, which I hated. It was a 6-cylinder, and it got like 16 and a half, 17. So I got to the point where I'm just like, I'm almost going to go ahead and trade it in. It has, like the T-top things. You could take the entire roof off, but it took a wrench and a lot of time. You could pop the tops off for the front seats. But in the 3 years I had it, I think I had the T-tops out of it like 8 or 10 times. I got a wife and 3 Texas blonde daughters, and they did not like the Jeep messing up their hair. So it sounded like it was going to be a really good idea and it was going to be really fun. Not really so much. I mean, I got bad gas mileage and it didn't take the top off a lot. So I traded it in. I got a Silverado 1500 with a turbocharged 4-cylinder, and I get almost 20 miles to the gallon out of it. I don't haul trailers or anything like that. I just live in Texas. I got to have a truck. I own a house. I got to have a truck. And I like the 20 miles to the gallon. I can actually get it up around like 21, 22, headed down to the Redneck Riviera. If I'm driving. I get in the inside, I get in the outside lane, and I set the cruise control at about, 75 here in Texas, speed limit once you get out there. So I set it like 77, 78. And then when I get into the other states, I get it down to like, 74, 73, 75 maybe. Set that cruise control. That cruise control can get you really good gas mileage. This is really good. It's like eating a Wagyu steak. Wagyu, I don't know, however they say it. W-A-G-Y-U. I've had a couple of those. Those are really good. They're really good. They're expensive. As with everything, isn't it? If it's good, it's expensive. Just some beautiful stacks of white ash with little flecks of black in it. It's a good cigar. It is. I have to wet my whistle another way. Sorry, the cleaning lady's been here today, and the washer repair guy was here today. He was here for like 5 hours. And so me and Sadie, Mrs. Sticks and Stones took the girls and they went out shopping. And me and Sadie, the 95-pound Shetland pony of a Labrador, we stayed in my office. So I hadn't really had much to eat or much to drink all day. Had breakfast. But I don't like, Sadie will follow the cleaning lady, Anna, follow her all over the house. And so I bring her in the office with me and she'll stay in there. Texas A&M is ready for the bracket. Oh yeah, I think we got a pretty good. I think we got a pretty decent draw. We may be able to make a little run. We're not going like the Final Four, not like that. I think we can make it to the 16. We're not going to make it if they played like they played the last few games. Unfortunately, that seems to be a hallmark of A&M. They come out of the gate like a thoroughbred, and they cross the finish line like the old plow horse. It's all right, though. I love them. Got my plaque in today, Century Club. Oh, yeah. Whoop. There you go. Aggie all the way. Well, I'm excited to see Texas play because they're in the play-in games. I want to see them get their ass beat. I hate Texas. The school, not the state. I love the state. The state's wonderful. The Republic of Texas. I love it here. Wouldn't live anywhere else unless it was a Caribbean island. I'll tell you what, it's going to get chilly tonight. It's supposed to be back down in the upper 30s. Can't decide what it was going to do because yesterday is like 85. And it's supposed to be 85 again on like Sunday. I saw a meme on Facebook. I don't know whether it's true or not. You know, you can't believe half the shit you get on Facebook, and you have to take a grain of salt with the other half. But it was showing, it had a picture of Texas, and it was showing the outline of the King Ranch. If you've ever seen the King Ranch Ford trucks, that's where they get this King Ranch from. It is an actual ranch in Texas. And so they were showing the outline of the King Ranch because it's right down on the coast, right down just south of Corpus Christi, I believe. And then beside it, it had a drawing of the state of Rhode Island. You could have fit the state of Rhode Island in it about 1.5 times. And that's about accurate. I mean, and I even said, I reposted it, and I'm like, I don't know if it's right or not, but it wouldn't surprise me. And then you have the 4 6s, 6666 Ranch, 4 6s. That's the one that's owned by the Taylor Sheridan, the creator of Yellowstone. He owns that ranch. And that one takes up the best part of 4 counties. Everything's bigger in Texas. That's what she said. It's really funny because I've got myself on YouTube over here so I can see what's going on. I can actually see that there is somebody listening to me. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love the fact that there's at least one person watching me other than me. I keep thinking one day I might have about, actually I did. When I was doing this, because I kind of cut back from all the other crap I was doing. I was trying all kinds of stuff to get people to watch. I do think I had like 13 people watching one time. That was amazing. Still, beautiful stacks of ash. We're getting at about the halfway point. We've been going at this about 33 minutes, so I don't want to keep you. Hey, I've got 2 more on. All right, welcome. Glad you're here. You've missed a great show so far. We've talked about Texas. We've talked about the cigars. We've talked about the whiskey. The Fuente Fuente Opus X. It's a $25 or $30 a stick cigar. It's a Dominican puro. So the filler, wrapper, and binder are all from the Dominican Republic, from the Chateau de la Fuente in the Dominican Republic. It is a simple but elegant cigar with some wonderful palate notes, again, that are really simple, nothing earth-shattering. You get some leather and a little bit of bittersweet chocolate and a lot of black and red pepper, kind of evenly dispersed black and red. The E.H. Taylor is one of my favorite bourbons. This is the small batch bottle and bond. It's a straight bourbon, 100 proof, 50% alcohol by volume. And it has some really great notes of vanilla forward all the way, with some tobacco and some leather. And it has a little bit of pepper itself. It's from mash bill number 1 at Buffalo Trace, which is believed to have a little bit of rye in it, maybe up to 10%. And I can kind of believe that because it does have that kind of peppery flavor to it on the palate. and they do blend together very well. I will say, now that we're here, depending on which side of the cigar you're on, we're about the halfway mark. And I would say that the stick, and I know you think, oh, he's just been talking. He doesn't know what's going on. I've been paying attention. I have noticed that there's been introduced into the palate some like roasted sesame seeds, a little bit of cinnamon, and then a little bit of citrus, like a limony, limey sweetness. And I'm not talking about British, I'm talking about limes. There's a nice kind of limey citrus to it. It'd probably go really well with a margarita, which would be great, other than the fact that the temperature's dropping and it's getting cold. But you're seeing the impeccable construction of the Fuente Fuente, because it is still holding strong with that nice, just stacks of white ash. I said I'd say white ice. It's not white ice. It's white ash. And sometimes you get kind of like the commercials with the carrot talking about probably having some problems down there. Nope. This is nice, straight up and down. Great stuff. I guess if maybe I could be silly enough, I could get some people to watch. Now I think I'm just down to me. So, But anyway, I'll go ahead and bring it to a close here. Definitely, if you have cigars, and especially today's spirits, are a how do they term that? If you have the spendable income, about the best way I can say it, to indulge in premium cigars and top shelf spirits, you might buy yourself an Fuente Fuente Opus X Super Bellicoso, and you will definitely like it. I know you will. And it does go very well with E.H. Taylor's Small Batch Straight Bourbon. And that's a whole lot of words between the two. So I would definitely recommend them if you have the spendable income. If not, just keep coming back to me, and you can see me spend my money on them, and you can get to hear what it's going to taste like for free. Free. But definitely hit like, subscribe, share, notify, punch all those buttons, ring all those bells. Definitely keep track of me, because I am trying to make a really good go at this. I stream on X and YouTube. I've got YouTube right here. As a matter of fact, this is one of my old phones. Now you can see me seeing me on X. It's about a 10-second delay, so it's really kind of messing me up when I look down at it. But anyway, you will definitely appreciate these. And if you have lots of spendable income, you could buy you a box and buy you a case and be very happy. I know you will. So until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry. Your stuff.